Hello everyone, I am your host, Len256i, of the Cooper Gang podcast, person, man, thing, human being. Today I'm here joined by your other co-hosts, Johnny Cooper, 64. We also have Oscar, RATM. Yep. And we have three guests, very special guests indeed. We have Josh Gaming.
Hello, everybody.
We have Mekanizer8.
Yo, it's your boy.
And we also have my partner in crime, Vermin Toxic.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah.
It's up no mess.
Sorry if I sound really weird. It's just that I have a cold, and the pictures don't stop coming, do they? They just.
Oh jeez, when are we gonna resolve it? Oh my god.
Spiral Sky Pylon Doors. Artist Dragzilla 66. Lord WTF,
Oh
hello
God.
children, when I blow up. What's he thinking?
Oh my
I'm the real
gosh.
Spiral.
That's gonna be really cute on the Xbox.
Oh yeah. Oh jeez. But anyway, guys, we got another. Okay, first of all, thank you to those who had gave us good reception on the last episodes. Very much appreciated. That our fellow Cooper Gang relatives.
Yes.
Stuff like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like Chamman and Zarbok and Reebok and everything else. Adidas, Sony, Microsoft, Insomniac, everyone really. People
Yes.
like you know, like I don't know if you guys know this. Oh, sorry, go on, Johnny. What were you saying?
No, you were saying something?
Oh no, I was just saying, like, I was watching Game Grumps this one time. At the end of like Sonic Adventure, like the Sonic Adventure, when it gets to the credits, like they said that Sega had credited everybody in Japan that had nothing to do with the game because the credit sequence are so long. Like you just go halfway down the credit screen. Thank you, Tatashi Okami or something. You know, it's just halfway down the credits. Bart Simpson. Boy,
Oh,
Mom
goodness.
Samson.
Just everybody from the entire country of Japan.
Oh, yeah. Everybody from Japan. That means, that also means, the hell, please try phone me. Go away. Thank you. Like, I hate, like, you just get, like, cold callers, like, these numbers and stuff, like, on my phone. It just came up,
Oh
like,
yeah.
London, England. It's probably, like, my phone provider, like, hello, would you like to buy a new microphone for the podcast or something, you know? It's just...
Don't you just hate when you get calls like that? I've had that too many times, people calling me from nowhere near where I live, and they're like, do you want to upgrade your phone?
It's like...
Whatever. Just
You kind of-
enter in your social security number and your credit card information, and we'll take care of it for you.
It kind of reminds me of that episode of SpongeBob where you're just like, I feel like somebody wants to sell me
Sell me
something.
something.
I told you he was on to us.
Yes. Well, you know, in my culture, you know what we do? We just say,
What?
no, this is Patrick.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh gosh, that's amazing.
But yeah.
Alright.
Anyway, guys, what's your guys' next videos?
I guess I'll start. Right now I have in the works. I don't know when I'm gonna end up getting around to this. I imagine probably January 6th is when I'd like to stream it. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. I'm planning on live streaming it and completing it.
Oh no.
Nicely case. That's very nice.
I don't know how I'm gonna get through it, but hey, I'll get through it.
If you want, I can tell you how to get the game done in less than 2 minutes.
I've done that already, actually.
So have I. You know,
It's not hard.
Oscar is the master of that. He's the professional at that thing. You should ask Oscar that, to be honest.
Oh my god. Yeah, because I think the world record is like, it's either 1 minute and 9 seconds or 1 minute and 7 seconds. I forget.
Oh,
It's
That's
ridiculous.
This is why rush games are never good.
I don't know. Like, I actually kind of enjoyed Enter the Dragonfly a little bit. I will admit, like, the level design is fun.
Yeah.
I also like the fact how it didn't oversaturate with like other playable characters. That's one of my main problems with Spyro 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree with that, definitely. If the thing is if the frame rate was a little bit better and there was a little bit more levels, I would say it would have been an amazing game. But unfortunately, it wasn't. If you play the game emulated on a decent computer, it runs amazing, and it's actually really enjoyable, in my opinion.
Yeah, I done that with a GameCube emulator. Actually, it's a lot more fun. Like, I mean, it does have stutters, but the thing is, it doesn't really. Okay, like the stutters are smoother, you know, like they're not really like Spyro like teleports from one area to another because like of the stutter, you know. It's like, one moment he's over here, next minute he's probably off the side of a canyon or something.
Yeah.
But, Spyro Insane Trilogy, everyone. So.
I think that game is actually like the only one that, as far as like rush games go, turned out good in my opinion. I mean, according to what I was told, I think they said they worked on the game for like 10 months before it came out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Yes, I think like as far as I mean, there's a decent amount of glitches in this game, but I definitely think it's a pretty good game, especially for 10 months of progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I mean it's actually a similar situation with the Wii U game Sonic Boom: Rise of Lyric, which I actually did a video on recently.
Gosh.
This game had so much potential. I swear, like it's unbelievable how much potential this game had. Like what was it? It was called like Sonic Synergy beforehand, and Sonic Synergy looked absolutely fantastic. It looked like one of the best Sonic games that we never had. You know, like
Yeah, it reminded me so much of like from the early stuff. It reminded me a lot of Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, you know, open world kind of running around, amazing looking stuff, and then something happened and it just went to complete garbage. In my opinion.
I can see what you mean. Like in my opinion, I think I guess it's okay. I wouldn't say it's a great game. Like it's definitely not a great game. Far from it, actually. Not even good. The very most you could call it, I guess, is slightly good, and I guess it is in some moments. That's the thing. Like most of the time, you're just like running around, beating up enemies and stuff. And the thing is, the combat system was it's so shallow in the finalized product, but in the original version, like the beta had so many moves you could pull off. Like you would be like, not only would you like homing attack them, but I mean you could chain these type of moves together to like, I don't know, how do you say it, like improve the homing attack, you know, like the homing attack would have more animations, more different types of beating enemies. And
that's what keeps those kinds of beat 'em up games entertaining, like God of War, for example. It doesn't get boring, in my opinion. I can play it over and over and over again. And of course, you're doing, a lot of the same. Go here, beat up enemies. Go to the next area, beat up enemies. Kratos gets angry and screams at the top of his lungs, beats up enemies. But the thing is,
only kills his son.
Yeah, that too. And it somehow ends up with another one. But
another one.
He's like, oh, great.
But like,
poor Alamone.
Like it keeps it fresh. It keeps it entertaining. It doesn't just repeat the same cycled animations over and over and over again. And it just, there's enough to keep it driven. But with like Sonic Boom, like all the Sonic games, with the exception of that one, you can say that's another thing. The music, in my opinion, the music for just Sonic Boom is just it just drags on. It's just like if somebody slammed their head on a keyboard and called
Yes.
it music. But whereas the other Sonic games, it gave you drive, it gave you energy, it gave you, But this, they kind of wanted like a, I don't know, like a cinematic feel to it or something, I guess. So they just went, boom, boom.
Yeah, I can.
And the game did so well; it gave itself a show.
That's true. That is really true. But the thing is,
And then the show became super self-conscious of itself. Or not super self-conscious, like super, like I guess like self-aware. I guess would be the term.
Breaking the fourth wall a lot.
Oh yeah, like every episode I think breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah. But, anyway, like the Sonic Boom thing, that was like, I don't know, like what. Okay, I don't know what went on behind the scenes, but what I do know is it's Sega's fault. Like Sega's the reason why it was it all went downhill. And I mean, are you surprised? Are you really surprised? Because I mean, Sega have done this beforehand with Alien Colonial Marines. Look how that turned out. Like beforehand, they showed this big, massive trailer. Look at this! Whoa, it's Alien. He's flying and all that stuff. The thing is, that trailer had a lot more content in it. The finalized version did not, and wouldn't you believe it, that game was actually made by the same developers as Enter the Dragonfly, so that was actually
That should have been their first clue that that was
Yeah.
not going to be good.
the thing is, it was actually made before Spyro Enter the Dragonfly, like in 2001. The thing is, they
Really?
dropped the project. Yeah, like they dropped the project afterwards, and then they got a promise from Universal Interactive Studios, and they said, why don't you go and make a Spyro game? And you seem to be a big fan of the franchise, even though you've made like one game that's Alien. So, like, you'd be very experienced doing this stuff. And the thing is, they did, like, I think they have done good with Enter the Dragonfly for what time it was given. But the thing is, they tried to get, what's the word? They tried to like aim for too much, Like they tried to aim for too much. Same with Alien Colonial Marines. And I don't know. I'm not a game developer, but at the very least, the way you could go around it is that, I don't know, just like add the basic stuff first and then detail it as you go along. Because I think that's what Insomniac did with Spyro. Because I mean, they created something simplistic like the first game, and then just completely created this addictive collectathon,
I think when
Yeah.
it came to Enter the Dragonfly, I could be wrong on this, but I think what happened was they've already been into production. They were getting through the majority of this, and then some point down the road, Universal called and was like, "Hey, so we want this out by Christmas, so you only have a couple more months to get this done." So, and
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, they, if I remember correctly, I think the final time, like the amount of time that they took to make this game before its release was like 7 months, if I remember correctly.
Ooh.
So yeah, it was bad.
Yeah,
It was
like-
really bad.
Oh man, like that's what they did with Sonic Boom Rise Alert. They just like at the final 5 months they were told, "Hey, you're making it for Wii U. Oh, what's that? Your engine isn't compatible with the Wii U. Ah, I'll be fine. Just take the next 5 months porting your incompatible engine to the Wii U. It'll be completely fine."
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, like getting back to the question, John, do you have any upcoming videos? You
Yep.
see?
I'm working on a collab video with Nerman, on Medieval, because a lot of people were asking questions like, is the new Medieval remaster going to be like the PSP version or the PS1 version? I want to get that out.
I see.
Nice.
And also the collab with Len on Spyro, like evidence that Spyro's getting remastered for, E3 2018,
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, like that video, there's gonna be, I wouldn't say groundbreaking evidence, but a groundbreaking something, because I found, like, there was this guy called Canadian Guy or
Mhm.
however you call
Oh
it.
yeah.
Mhm.
This guy, he made a video, I don't know how recent it was, but this guy called Electric told him, "Oh, I have, like, behind the scenes what's the word? Behind the scenes, like a look on like the Spyro remaster. Guess what? The facial department told me they're making a new Spyro game. I can't show you anything, but you're just gonna have to go off on what I said. And I don't know. Like it seems like somebody might be playing us, but at the same time, the fact that he said that Jess Harnell would be the voice of Spyro isn't really that far fetched because, Jess Harnell was actually the voice of Spyro in A Hero's Tale, which is a very underrated Spyro game. I love that game so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that kind of makes sense, but you never know. I mean, the fact that Jess Harnell was Crash in the Insane trilogy, and again, Activision owns both licenses. That kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said the one that seems like a really big stretch is the guy they picked for Ripto. Now, the thing with this one though is that sometimes voice actors can sound one way, and you're used to hearing them that way, but they can sound completely different. Like, have you guys ever played the PS1 Spider-Man game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Remember
yeah.
the voice of Venom?
Yeah.
The guy who voiced Venom is the same voice actor of Cosmo from Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah. He was
So it's
also
like you get two
Gordy
different-
from. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
I-
you're right.
I was just
know
gonna
what
say
you're
he's
talking
Gordy from Ned's Declassified. If any of you remember that show, hopefully
Yeah, I
most of you
remember that.
watching were old enough to remember that
about. I
show.
grew up with that show.
I remember watched it on Nickelodeon. It was a Nickelodeon, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
And then getting to middle school and being like, wow, it's nothing like this show.
The original Diary
Janitors
of
were hateful. They weren't fun.
It's
loving.
never like that.
So anyway, Nerman, have you got any new videos coming?
Well, spontaneously, I was thinking about making like what's called a retrospective about the NEC franchise. If you know that franchise, it's the best video game franchise ever. And I'm not joking. NEC 2 is so good it competes against God of War 1, 2, 3. It's so good that it's in the Hall of Fame of video games, and it didn't won the Video Game Awards of 2017 because it was too good. It was disqualified.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed, because it's too good. Like unimaginable good.
And there we
There you
have
go.
it.
Yeah.
Neck 3 did.
But there we go. We had
The holy grail of Knack itself. We have Knack 3 and Knuckles.
John.
Knuckle bringing them chuckles.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous, Johnny.
I know.
My copy. My copy.
Yee.
Okay.
Yes.
Next.
Hello.
Should I record this, Nerman?
Oh, I don't know. It's up to you.
Nah, I can't really be bothered. Anyway, shows your Knack. Shows your
I'm
Knack's the
searching
piece.
for Nick. He's hiding from me. He's
Overly.
hiding from me. That's how we escaped the Game Awards. He hid it from everybody.
The Game Awards of Nerman's house, you see?
Damn, where is Nick? Hello, Nick? Ah! I think I remember. Oh no. I forget it.
What have
It's
you
in
done
a...
to Crash? Like, look at Crash, he's like trapped.
Where?
Like, look
Oh
at...
yeah, there.
Help me!
Oh my
Junior.
goodness.
He's like, what's that?
It's not bad.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
Hello there.
Problem.
If you guys like
Yeah.
your Star Wars prequel memes.
oh yeah, Phantom Schlelis.
Well, guys, I can't find Neck. I've put Neck in a treasure chest, and I don't know where I put the treasure chest because I've dug like a hole inside somewhere. I can't remember where I put him in.
Or the
And
next
so-
generation will find the next game.
It sounds like you need
Yes.
to make a Spyro remaster for Spyro to find that treasure.
There we go. We got the next piece. So Nerman, the next piece.
Everybody feel free to make a Neck video.
Oh yeah. We need to make a neck collab.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
there you
Totally.
go.
Why not? Why not
Neck
making
to-
a whole podcast dedicated to neck only? You know,
Featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Dante,
With
Cosmo,
Banjo-Kazooie.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
So we got featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series with Banjo-Kazooie and Knuckles.
shy, yeah.
Devil May Shy. So anyway,
Those rest-
Now
Devil
featuring
May Cry.
microtransactions.
from EA.
from EA, the masters of the microtransactions, you see? The masters of them.
Once it started it all.
Yeah.
$2,500 to unlock everything.
So anyway,
Good job, Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2.
Guys, hear the rumors.
About what?
Devil May Cry exclusively to PS4, the new one.
Oh yeah, Johnny told me about like the original Devil May Cry is not the same as, well, okay, it's obviously not the same, but it's not like a reboot, you know, like DMC Devil May Cry or whatever.
Yeah, emo Devil May Cry, yeah.
It's actually on Amazon right now for pre-order, the HD collection for PlayStation 4.
Ooh,
That's nice. Why
At
on
least
Amazon,
in-
though?
At least in the US it is. I don't know about other places, but right now it's available. Well, never mind, actually. I just looked right now and they're all sold out. So,
Well, that's good.
nice.
yeah, at least that means it shows interest, but it has the first 3 games in it, so. First 3
What about
original.
Devil May Cry 4?
No. Just the first 3.
Best game, yeah.
I like the 4th one, that's my favourite one, I have to admit.
I like all of them.
Yeah.
Even
I
the
haven't
emo-
played too many of them. A friend of mine who I used to know had them, and I would play it over at his house, but it looked cool. I just never ended up picking any of them up. I really want to. I plan on probably picking up that HD collection on PS4 since I skipped out on the originals.
Yeah, man, gotta get it, dude.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You're getting ready for Devil May Cry 5.
Devil May Cry 6. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hopefully it features Knuckles, dude. Or Neck.
It
What the
doesn't have
werewolves,
not
man.
legit.
You need the werewolf
Hey,
in
they
Devil May Cry.
need to. They need to add Tiny Tank, okay? It's
Oh
the
my
best
Someone
character.
chose Tiny Tank. Wow.
Tiny Tank is the best video game character ever.
Dude, like, I try to, like, go and try to find, like, gameplay of Tiny Tank, and, like, nobody knows what that is. It's really cool that other people know what this is.
Yeah, I'm. How should I say? I'm like a PS1 veteran. I almost know every game there is, but it's hard because the PS1 is like unlimited amount of video games. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
it's hard. It's very hard to get all of them.
It's, indeed it is.
Gotta catch them all, dude.
Speaking of PlayStation 1, that reminded me, I think I told this story many times. People are probably sick of hearing it, but in case you guys haven't heard it, I went to a local video game shop. It wasn't GameStop. It was just one that's local around here, and they had a PlayStation 1 game. I forgot what the title of it was, but it came out in '99, and it said vintage.
Yeah.
I was born in '94, so what does that make me?
Ancient.
Oh my god.
Ancient?
Extra.
Classic, dude.
Classic, yeah, exactly, Johnny.
Let's go with that.
Everything is
Yeah.
vintage up to neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's true, that's true.
Very true
Neck is
indeed.
the new classic exclusive.
Yeah, boy.
Do you guys think they should remaster Spyro or Knack, dude? In your opinion?
I hopefully neck. Come on.
Yeah, like, I
Nah,
think it's time for a neck remaster.
Yeah, dude. It's already time from the ground up.
Knack to the remaster.
Yeah.
Knack to the future.
We have Knack for the PlayStation 5. You see,
Yeah, man.
Yes.
so they're
Yeah,
very
in
nice.
10 years, people will be asking for a NAC remaster in 10 years.
They will, like, seriously. I get that like Spyro and Crash can get remastered, but the thing is, like, everyone's asking for like PS1 remasters now. Like, I don't know. Would you rather have like like what Bubsy did? Would you rather have Bubsy 3D as a remake, or would you have like a brand new Bubsy game? I mean,
I think Bubsy 3 would be pretty funny.
If they did it right, you know, as a remake, like obviously the new Bubsy game, I played it and it wasn't bad. It's fantastic by any means, but it was good. So, you know, if they did it right, I wouldn't mind another 3D Bubsy game.
A game that I think would be really interesting to see in a remake. Now, I don't think it would ever happen because this company disbanded after this game was made. But has anyone here heard of Tomba 2 or Tombi or whatever they pronounce
Yes.
it?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
Nerman is a
I
big
think that'd
fan
be
of
pretty
this.
interesting.
Yeah,
Quote
Tombi.
unquote Kettery's favorite bit.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, so do you guys, in your opinion, do you guys, how do I say this? Do you guys think actually Skylanders is going to be discontinued in 2018?
A part of me feels like maybe. As far as what I've seen from Spyro Universe on Twitter, he's shown some of the things like certain sales for Skylanders have been definitely decreasing. Some people have seen stuff in the stores where it's like buy one get four free. The price has been dropping on them.
Yeah, I bought
The ratings of the games, if I remember correctly, have been going down as the games went, and not just Skylanders in general, but I think the whole Toys to Life gimmick is kind of just starting to die down too. Like even Amiibos are starting to kind of starting to like teeter totter a bit towards the edge.
I think a lot of it actually has to do with the economy. Just with, you know, people don't have money to spend, you know, $14.99 on playable
Unless
characters
they-
anymore. You know,
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I
that's
agree.
a lot of money because, you know, the game is 60 plus the portal is like 20 plus you know the characters are, you know, $14.99 each for the smaller ones, and you know the bigger ones are like 25 or more. So, you know, people just don't have that money. They just want to buy a game, sit down, and play it, you know?
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Well, I kind of agree actually, to be honest, because like the thing is with Skylanders, to answer Johnny's question, I honestly think Skylanders is done now. Like, I don't have any evidence apart from the fact they cancelled a game already, and that was the RPG that was meant to be released. Okay, the thing is, normally, like they did with Superchargers, they announced it halfway through the year, like they did with the RPG. Usually they would follow up with some kind of update or news or whatever, but the thing is, there's nothing. Like, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Like, also, Imaginators was the worst selling Skylanders game of all time.
Yeah, honestly, the only reason why I ended up buying it was just because of Crash and Cortex.
Yeah.
You know,
And,
I
like,
agree.
honestly, I haven't touched it since the Insane Trilogy came out, so...
Yeah, because you streamed that the night that it was coming out.
Yeah, and that was the last time I played it.
Yeah, like, I guess that was also the same with me. Like with Insane Trilogy, when that came out, everybody put down that and just went to go play that. Like, everyone
Yeah.
went to go and play Insane Trilogy, and I can see why, because Insane Trilogy is so, like, it was so hyped up, it sold way more, it squashed Imaginators. Like, Imaginators only sold like 75k in its first week worldwide.
Yeah.
It even outsold Horizon Zero Dawn, which that really surprised me. Like, I'm super happy about that.
Yeah, that's true, like...
It was crazy.
It just shows, like, it really does, because people have been asking for Spyro Remaster just as much as they have with Crash, so we've got, like, a good chance of Spyro coming back. Well, okay, first of all, attacking the medieval fans, that's outright out of order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second
Definitely.
of all, yeah, there's some people who have been going around saying, "Oh, this shouldn't happen because I don't want it to." I mean, like, the thing is, Skylanders, in my opinion, is done. Like, I like Skylanders. Don't get me wrong. I really like Skylanders. I loved Superchargers when it came out. I still played Imaginators, and I loved playing as Spyro in that game too, and the other characters. But the thing is, I think Skylanders is just, it's outworn its welcome, if you know what I mean. Like, it's just stayed for too long. Like, it's time to just let it be what it is and just, have Spyro back. Like, I mean, we had to put up with it when Dawn of the Dragon ended, so why not just...
Yeah, and that was how many years ago? Dawn of the Dragon ended, what, 2008?
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
10 years ago.
10-year anniversary.
There you go.
Dawn of the Dragon
I mean,
remastered.
Eternal Night turned 10 this year. That's I can't believe that.
I know, right?
That is weird. The Eternal Night, if you spell that with the first letter of the subtitle, it's 10 as well. The Eternal Night 10. Oh, what's this next piece?
Oh, is his neck?
They're Superchargers. I got it for $2 on Toys R Us.
Oh yeah, we got the console.
Wow.
$2, my dudes.
$2
Oh,
for this costed me like £30.
Yeah, see, this is the point. Is that like they dropped the price so much.
Like, I've seen Christmas sales, and then this is, like, insane. I've never seen them this cheap before. Like,
Yes.
like, Christmas sales, usually, it's 10% off or something. Like, I've never seen the prices to the point where they're pretty much giving it away, because they're definitely not making any money off of that.
Actually, you want to know what's funny? I'm not even kidding with this, by the way. I went in to see if I could get a portal for Swap Force because it broke recently. I went in and they gave it to me for free.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
They just replaced it. Like, they just like, nah, you can have it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm like, yeah, but like the guy just said, Merry Christmas. I mean, have it. I was like, wow. Sorry, you work in a game store, right? Like, yeah, he was a nice guy. He gave me a free portal. It worked as well. I went home, played it for a while because I wanted to 100% the game, excluding the element characters. So, because that's the thing, trying to 100% a Skylanders game. Wow, like that takes half your bank account away. Like, wow. Jeez.
No kidding.
Nah, there's no joke about it either. Like, jeez, like I spent over £50 getting Imaginators because I actually wanted to back then, but now I'm just like, I've got the ones I want. I don't really want to get any more. You know?
Yeah. It's like physical microtransactions if you think about it.
Yeah, cause like the whole idea of Skylanders itself kind of seems like everything was just a microtransaction. It's like, well, I mean, like not saying microtransaction, like it's more like it kind of became a gimmick for money in a way, where it's just like in the beginning there was another dragon character, but then towards the end they decided, hey, let's make this into Spyro, and then Spyro was thrown in, put his name in it. A bunch of people bought it because Spyro was in it. And then the next bunch of games had nothing to do with them, and then things started to decline, and people were just like, eh.
Yeah, honestly, you can play the entire first game without Spyro, so they can't really call it Spyro's Adventure. But, like, my argument is, if they took out Spyro's name, do you think it would have sold as well?
Exactly.
I wish there was an alternate timeline or something, or some way to see exactly how much it would have sold if it was just called Skylanders Adventure and there was no mention of Spyro, no nothing, and see like the comparison.
I kinda. Oh, sorry, Johnny. You wanna go on?
Well, I was saying, I don't. Do most kids, like back in when it was first released, did they even know about Spyro? I guess
Maybe from the Legend series, but they probably were too young to remember it from the good old days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Back when we were kids.
Yeah,
Right, Mexico.
If it makes you guys feel any better, my cousin who's like 7, has a PS Vita. He got a PS Vita for his Christmas just last year.
Oh,
And
nice.
the thing is, he actually plays Crash and Spyro on that console. So like the PS1.
Dude, that's amazing.
I mean, yeah, I kinda had to lead him there, but the thing is, he's playing other games now. Like he played like Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, and stuff, and like he found that on his own. And I was like, wow, that's great. Like, I'm proud of you, little cousin.
Exactly, get him on the right page.
No, if you played Knack and you'd been my favourite cousin, no, I'm joking, but still at the same time. Yeah, it's just, it warms my heart when, little kids play PS1 games for the first time, because, they get to see what we grew up on, like...
Exactly.
I mean, I was... oh, sorry, what?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was saying was, I wasn't born in the 90s. I was born, like, just at the edge of, like, 2000s, I guess. Like, well, okay, no, just at the edge of the 1990s, I would say, like, 2001, and then nothing else. Like Ratchet and Clank was like all the rage back then, I guess, like with Insomniac, I suppose. But the thing is, I was given like Spyro game after Spyro game when I was young, and I just thought to myself, wow, that's really something. But anyway, Josh, you were saying?
I lost my train of thought.
Oh god, sorry.
Well, it's good, you're good.
As far as the idea, like the point that you made about it's awesome to see kids who are younger than us play these classics that we grew up with. I go into detail about this in the video I'm working on, but I talked about like, the reason why Medieval is such a good idea for it to be remastered, and why the remasters in general is such a good idea. And like you said, the whole point is that we like to get people who are younger to check out the things that we grew up with and be like, hey, this is what we liked, and maybe they'll like the same thing. So people really liked Medieval, so now kids can see Medieval, and people who never played it but have heard of it, like myself, could go and play the game for the first time.
Yeah, it's hard to find PlayStation 1 games around here. I mean, they're super expensive if you want to try and find old games. Copies of Spyro are like ridiculous on eBay.
Yeah, like Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage last time I checked on Amazon is $109. It's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
And then Battlefield 3 from PS3 is like $6. So you do the math.
It tells you which one has longer lasting value. So
yeah, so like it's interesting because like that means that the game is still good even after all those years, which is interesting,
Yeah, definitely. To piggyback kind of on what you were saying, like I hope someday when I have kids I can sit them down and have them play some PlayStation 1 games and be like, this is.
Wait,
What was that?
What's happening? Uh-oh.
Someone getting
Is
in
it
trouble.
the Fiendish 5? Oh no.
Finally,
I'm back.
hey, there he is.
It's your boy.
What I was saying was, like someday when I have kids, I'd love to sit them down and have them play Spyro 1, and then if there's a remaster and the Crash games and stuff like that, and it's so cool to see like before I got my Twitter, I didn't think there was even that many Spyro fans. I for the longest time I hadn't really talked to many people who even knew Spyro, and then as time went on and I got older and whatever, and ended up getting a Twitter and a Facebook and this and that, and I found out, wow, there's a huge community of fans. I'm surprised, and I'm definitely really glad to be part of this community with all you people.
Oh yeah, I can see what you mean. Like the original Spyro fans, they tend to go for like YouTube, Twitter, and I would say maybe Instagram as well. Like even though there's not that many Spyro fans on Instagram, but the thing is, the original Spyro fans, like the Insomniac, Gamescom, and Check 6 games, Spyro games, like those games. The fans of those games tend, like, there are fans of Enter the Dragonfly, I discovered, by the way, but the thing is, all those
6 fans.
Yeah, check 6 fans of one game.
6 fans.
It's the developers.
Last time I checked, there were only 6 fans.
I check you 6 times across the face. Pat Strikes Back, he's well, okay, I think he's on making a Crash fan game at the moment. I don't know.
Yeah, isn't it like Crystal's Wrath or something like that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, the thing with Legend of Spyro fans, this is what I was going to say. The Legend of Spyro fans, they're on Tumblr and what's it called? They're on Tumblr and DeviantArt nowadays. Like the Legend of Spyro fans, they don't even. I don't know, they're not as vocal as like the original Spyro fans. That's why you see so many people going like, "Oh, original Spyro should be remastered." Come on, then they're just like in the background making like a fan fiction or something, like John Spyro art or something. And
Well, I mean, the thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, it's fine.
The thing is with the Legend of Spyro series, it had like such a perfect arc, and the games, like in my opinion, don't really need to be remastered. Maybe just like a polished up port or something like that, if they're gonna do it. Because
I mean, it's on Xbox though, but
Yeah.
maybe make it backwards compatible or something. I don't know.
yeah.
For the Xbox One or something. I don't know. Maybe a PS4 port, anything. But like the games are just like so good that I don't really think they need much, tweaking. Maybe a few bug fixes or something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, like when it comes to like the remaster for that, and by remaster I mean the remake. Whenever we get into the conversation with some people where it's like, oh, well, they're going to do Legends or, oh, they're going to do Classic, it's like, it's kind of obvious that if they do one, they're going to do Classic Spyro.
Ah, yeah.
I mean, because, like, as good as the Legend series was, I could be wrong on this, so don't quote me on this, but I think the reviews were actually not as good as the original, but like I said, I have no idea.
I can actually clarify that for you.
Okay.
There's 2 things. Like there's 2 sides. Like there's the critics and then there's the fan base.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is,
Yeah.
these people they were annoyed at the fact that Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning came out. But the thing is, nobody bought a Hero's Tale. Like a Hero's Tale sold horribly. And then there was Spyro Shadow Legacy, which was for the DS. Nobody sold that at all. Actually, the most sales came from the UK alone.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
What does it say here? Yeah, it says 34K sold.
Damn.
And plus, that game was horrible too, so that's understandable.
Yeah, and then there's well, okay, I mean, I didn't mind it, but I can see why people don't like it. It definitely is flawed.
Are you talking about Hero's Tale selling 34K?
Yeah.
That wouldn't make sense because the game got a platinum release in Europe.
Really?
Yeah.
Unless something had happened, I have no. Okay, let me check the Spyro: A Hero's Tale. Last time I checked, it was like 34K.
I feel like it would have gotten like at least like a greatest hits or if anything,
Yeah, it might have been. But
I mean, hey, like if Enter the Dragonfly got a greatest hits, anything is possible.
Did it really?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh,
This
my mistake.
It
It
sold
was
600,000 copies.
yeah, my mistake. It was 0.64 million global.
Wow.
Well, the thing was, nobody was. Well, okay, people did buy the Spyro game, but it was nothing compared to Spyro 3. That was like the top. Like that was the top of the mountain, Like that's exactly where Spyro had to be. Then Enter the Dragonfly came out. Nobody wanted to buy Spyro after that. Like
Yeah.
because it nearly killed a child. Actually, this game.
Which is such a shame. Again, this is why, rush games are never good. And that, to me, I think that's might be part of the reason why they didn't announce a Spyro trilogy remaster at PSX this year. is because they need more time to polish it, and they want to make sure that that same thing doesn't happen. You know, I trust Vicarious Visions wholeheartedly. They proved themselves definitely 100% worthy with the Insane trilogy for me. But you know, and with a lot of the fans and their constant nitpicking, the grass isn't the right color. You know, that's definitely going to happen with a Spyro remaster.
Yeah, like one time I got someone who left a comment on one of my videos and was like, "Oh, well, you know, we're if Spyro gets announced, I'm gonna nitpick the crap out of that thing." It's like, okay, but if you do that, Vicarious Visions is never gonna make another game for us again if we do that.
Yeah,
Because
man.
look at what happened to Crash. Like not all they did, but a lot of what they did was just sit there and say, "Oh, the grass isn't the right color. The box is not the right shade of brown."
I know, like the metal boxes. People are like, "It's too dark."
Unplayable.
The boxes are,
0
yeah.
out of 10.
Oh my god. Oh, he's
The extra
serious.
life icon isn't the same. The music isn't the same. Blah blah blah.
It's
well,
like it's not the
obviously,
same.
it's called creative freedom. You know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why
he's
is
serious.
Oh gosh, just like the amount of obviously it's not going to be exactly the same. You know, they don't have the same voice actors. They don't have the, you know. Hopefully, people will be more forgiving, considering you know that they trust Vicarious Visions now. With a Spyro remaster, you know, I hope we don't hear stuff like the gems aren't shiny enough, and you know, Spyro's purple isn't the right shade of purple, and you know,
Like as far
ridiculous
as
stuff.
these,
Like that.
as far as this like nitpicking thing goes, I really don't think we're going to be too harsh on it, because the thing to understand is that, no offense to the Crash fan base, I mean, they're awesome, and I guess we're technically all part of it too, but
Yeah.
there's a pretty decent size of the Crash fandom that's very aggressive. From what I've been told, the Spyro Reddit and the Crash Reddit have had some issues. When Crash got his remaster, they came after Spyro fans or something like that. I forget exactly what the details were of it, but things went down, so to speak.
Oh.
Yeah. If we're lucky, Spyro fans will not be aggressive.
Well, we can all be better people about that.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
definitely, because honestly, for me personally, I'll just be happy to see the classic style of Spyro return. You know, as long as it's not broken game, which I don't think it will be, considering Vicarious Vision's past track record. I think it'll be fantastic, and I'm definitely looking forward to it if it gets announced. Hopefully, E3 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hope, dudes. Let's hope for a Spyro remaster and NEC trilogy remaster too, from the ground up.
NEC
more than
HD trilogy.
The other part
Yes.
to bring up too is, like, I
Yes.
remember hearing this somewhere where someone said, like, well, this game sold more copies than the other game, so clearly it's not good. But it's like, you can have a game that sold a crap ton amount of copies, but it looks, and if you look in the reviews, if you sold a bunch of games but your game did terrible, it
Yeah.
must not be that great. Because, like, look at No Man's Sky. That's a perfect example, I think, where they overhyped the crap out of that game. I believe it sold a bunch of copies. I can't remember the exact number, but then seeing the reviews, people were like, wow, this game is really stupid. Why did we buy this? And the producers of the game even said, yeah, we knew it was bad. They had no remorse. And when people say that, you know, Skylanders is better than the OG Spyro because of the fact that they sold more copies, that kind of doesn't make sense, because it's just like, well, if one game sold more but didn't do as great as the other games in ratings, then which one was better? It's kind of like the whole quality over quantity kind of thing.
That's very true. And another factor is the fact that a lot of people back then, when original Spyro came out, weren't really playing video games. Video games were kind of still considered taboo and super violent back then. So, you know, and not everybody had money for video games back then either.
Not only that, but like Spyro wasn't that big in Japan. Like we had one game, and that game was terrible. I think your Ripto's Rage or Gateway to Glimmer, wherever you're from. I think it was Gateway to Glimmer over there too, where I think they had it there too, and the camera was still all wonky, or they made it normal. But then Spyro 3 was not there. And Japan is a very big market in the gaming industry. Like, Japan loves Crash. That's why Crash... I think that's one of the reasons why Crash sold as many copies as it did, because Japan is such a huge piece.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Nintendo, and then it all just goes downhill from there.
Nintendo seems to be making a comeback, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
Breath
with
of the
the
Wild
Nintendo
was definitely a
Switch.
good jump.
Definitely.
That's
They're on the up and up again, which is good. I'm very happy for them.
So the question is, are you guys going to get, when the Medieval remaster comes out, would you guys buy it? And the part 2 to that question is, do you think it's going to be the Medieval trilogy, or is it going to be just the first game? Because they didn't clarify what it is yet.
Personally, I don't think it's gonna be the trilogy because Sean Layden only said the first game, but seeing as how many people on Twitter really demand the second one, including myself, as it's my favorite, I would say maybe they're gonna make like not a trilogy, but the first two, I guess, on the PS4. And yeah, I'd buy it definitely.
Yeah, because I think someone said before, like, 3 didn't do that great. Is that correct?
Yeah, Resurrection didn't really do great because it was originally developed with PS2 in mind. It was going to be the third game, but then Sony quickly told them, no, you guys, you have to change this game. It has to be a remake of the first one for a PSP, and then they had like to take the whole game from the PS2 and transfer it to the PSP.
Oh my god.
And it didn't sold very well. Well, not too much. It did got platinum release and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
it didn't help really. Then a bunch of cancelled games came, and yeah, now it's back.
Like neck.
Indeed.
And like the thing with Medieval is that like I know some people, like I mentioned this in my Discord server where some people said this might be a bit of a stretch, but I think when you look at the gameplay of Medieval,
Yeah.
it's kind of like this. I kind of say like it's a mixture of like Crash and Spyro, where like Crash had that zoomed out camera, while Spyro had this open world kind of aesthetic to it. And so when you think that it has the possibility of being able to remaster a game that has an open world, it kind of debunks the whole argument of when people said, "Oh, well, they can't do Spyro because the world is so big. It's an open world, so they can't." It's like, well, explain this.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Isn't
a little bit
Skylanders
of,
also big?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
so
it
it's
is,
like, boy.
Realistically, in my opinion, honestly, the like technical layout of what's needed isn't that much different from Crash. You got a warp room, which is summer forest, autumn plains, artisans, etc., 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 and then you got the portals to each of the worlds, which are just like the warp pads in Crash. So it's not that far off of a huge mechanic. The only difference really is that there's collectibles in the hub world, where Crash there isn't any. So
Yeah, like the difference between Crash also and Spyro is that Spyro isn't as linear as the Crash games are. It's kind of like go from point A to point B with the occasional take Route C where you have to backtrack and figure out where it is.
It's like mission based. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which
Like
why
Ratchet and
that's-
Clank.
Hello?
Hello.
You're here.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay.
We all just
Hello.
Like, oh damn.
Rip
So,
off.
are you guys gonna pick up Medieval?
I
feel like-
definitely am.
Yeah.
Day one, baby.
I'll pre-order it. I never played the original Medieval games. I
Not?
have like no nostalgic connection to it. Whatever. Wasn't really interested in it when I was a kid. I saw the cover and I was just like, So I'll be interested to actually try it, and the PS4 version remastered, whatever. That would be my first time playing it. So I'm really excited. I'm definitely gonna pick it up and probably live stream it or something.
Yeah.
To show how much I live under a rock, it was just a couple of weeks ago, or like when the game first got announced, that I did research on the game and learned the game was on PS1. I was like, oh, I thought it was on PS2. I thought it was just PS2, so I was just like, oh, wow. That game came out in 97, right?
90, yeah, indeed, yeah. Yeah, the first
Okay,
one
good.
is, yeah.
I got
But
it.
the second one in 2000.
That makes sense. Okay, that works then.
Yeah, pretty late in the PlayStation 1 lineup.
Then
That's what-
Medieval Resurrect was in 2006, right?
Yes. Yes,
that's
yes,
when
yes.
that one came out. Well,
Or
I mean,
was
that's
it
when
in-
the PSP came out too.
Wait, I think it was a launch title for the PSP. Not
Oh, was it?
sure. It would be 2004 if that's correct, but I think it's 2005.
It's somewhere within that title, I think.
Sorry?
I think it was around that time frame, most likely.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Definitely.
Enter the Dragonfly remaster. Like, can we get some hype up for that? I mean, that would be real awesome. Make the
I'd
game
buy
that
it.
it was supposed to be.
I'd only buy it to hear Gulp say, "What are we going to do this time, boss?"
Oh my gosh.
What are we gonna do this time, boss? Oh gosh, and that was a mistake to make him talk. And apparently, Crush was supposed to talk too.
Where?
I think he did.
And where?
In Enter the Dragonfly.
Crash
Yeah,
was
did he
there.
talk?
But
Crash?
no, Crush.
Oh, Crash! Oh, okay. I was confused.
Like Knack was in the background too somewhere if you really look.
Yeah, the original PlayStation mascot.
Yeah, Knack.
There you go. He's an Easter egg.
He's
Yeah,
got
well,
some orange
Sonic-
and blue. Crash copied off him.
He's the Nick Fury of the PlayStation characters.
Yes.
I'm putting together a team.
PlayStation also has Battle Royale. Let's make Knack the legend character.
Oh
I'm
gosh.
surprised he isn't in those games actually.
Well, yeah. It would be nice actually to see him in the sequel or something.
He'd be a good fighting character.
Yeah.
It totally. If you ever played Knack 2, man, he has some nice moves. Seriously.
Hello?
Hello, viewer.
Oh,
You're on
the-
the chat if you want.
Like, welcome to Sad Boy Hours. We'll call you back as soon as it's convenient for us. Squidward was always there for us when it was convenient for him.
The Knack and Knuckles. I love that.
I think in the chat with the Nickel Knack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's my
Great to see that. It's
creation.
like, I would listen to that. It's better than the original.
Yes.
There's a I think Dave Grohl said this from the Foo Fighters. Dave Grohl is known for just saying what he thinks, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
he says something about Nickelback, and he says, "You see, if you play Nickelback backwards, you get satanic messages. Even worse, if you play them forwards, you're hearing Nickelback."
Well, everybody is lately against Nickelback, like the Slipknot singer as well. I heard.
Oh yeah, Corey Taylor doesn't like them either.
Yeah. Like they have this huge beef against each other.
Yeah, because like I forget what it's like Chad Kroger, I think is his name. Like he's from what
Yeah.
I've seen, he can be pretty arrogant, and I think that's why people hate Nickelback
Well-
so much is because of it.
That comes from some. Well, okay, that happens if you are engaged to Avril Lavigne. I mean,
Oh gosh, wait, was he really?
yes.
So
I
he was
never
a
knew that.
skater boy, huh?
Yeah, totally.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Nickelback is very, very
Microphone. Oh, there we
sad
go.
band.
Yeah, where every single song is the same thing.
That's true. Like since the third album dropped, every song on the next album is the same. Like every ballad is how's that one song called? It's no. This is how you remind me. Every single ballad is this song.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Take a
Every-
look at this photograph.
Every time I do it makes me laugh.
Take a look at this graph.
Grab. This is imagine the Spyro fan base is like this remix. So take a look at this grass. We carry wishes, change it, goddamn.
Oh
Glorious.
So that
Oh.
Canadian guy A, if you guys follow him, he's made other Spyro videos as well, and one of them that I found interesting, I wanted to mention to you guys as well, is he brings up the topic of the possibility of having multiple skins. So we all know that Spyro has
Yeah.
all these different, different redesigns, some better than others, but But like they say that it'd be awesome if they were to add multiple skins of maybe like a cheat code or a completion bonus, so that if you know Spyro from the Legend series, there's a skin for that, or you want to play as classic,
Yeah.
there's the remastered version, Skyro, and all that other stuff. What do you guys
Really?
think?
I mean,
Yeah, I think
that
that'd
would
be,
be
like, really
cool, but they didn't do that for the Insane Trilogy,
Yeah.
which is a real shame because I
The
really
one
was hoping
thing-
that you could unlock the startup polygon low poly crash from the PlayStation 1 looking.
Oh yeah, like Mario Odyssey.
Well,
yeah,
the-
that would
the
be
one with-
really cool.
The one with the Insane Trilogy though is that they also gave us Coco, which was
Yeah,
like
that is true. That's true.
That's
yeah,
cool.
that's what that was the point that he actually brings up is that Coco was given to us through the game, so maybe this would be something to give to us, or maybe they'd make Cinder a playable character. I don't know. Even though Cinder's not in this universe technically.
I mean,
but
how would that work for cutscenes though?
I have no idea. I feel like the Force Unleashed, where you could play as different skins, but that skin doesn't come through in all the cutscenes. It just goes back to its original.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah,
true.
that's
Star
true.
Killer.
That's true. I think it's in the sequel as well.
Hello. Oh,
So, who wants to hear spoilers of
yes.
Episode 8?
Oh. No,
I'm kidding. I
I've
haven't
seen
even
it already.
yet.
I haven't. I need to.
I'm gonna
I've
see it
been
over
waiting
Christmas
though.
Break.
It was a really good movie.
Is it
That's
really?
what everybody says. And, well, most people say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most people. Was,
It kind of. So, like, have you seen Rogue One?
I have.
last year, yeah.
All right. So, if you were to compare 8 to Rogue One, is it better than Rogue One?
Good question.
Well, they're both kind of different because one
Yeah.
everybody does.
Well, yeah, true. Yeah, yeah. Everyone dies in Rogue One, and that's
I don't
not a
know why,
spoiler
like,
because if you haven't seen it, that's on you.
Spoiler alert for everybody.
It came out a year ago, so they have no excuse now.
I
That's the
don't know
other
why,
thing,
but,
when do spoilers technically become like okay to say?
I don't know why, but the Rogue One from last year, I don't know, it seemed to me like a Jackie Chan Star Wars movie because of how much martial arts there was.
Yeah. The interesting thing too is like I've seen people say the reason why they hated the movie was because everyone dies at the end, but it's a really smart move because if you
Yeah.
were to have these characters survive, then there would have been the argument of okay, well, where are they now? If they didn't
Yes.
kill them off, they'd be somewhere else in the universe. They would have come up with some random story like, oh, they're just never seen again.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I personally kind of hated how they did it so fast in the movie.
Oh yeah. Like
I
if it
don't
was,
know, it was like here we go. Everybody's dead.
Man's here.
yeah, that's pretty much it. Like the only thing that I was upset about was the fact that they killed off KSO. It's like he was, or whatever his name was, but like he was like the greatest. I think he's like one of the greatest characters in Star Wars. I think.
That's true.
You mean you don't love Jar Jar Binks?
Oh, goddamn.
Hi, Jar Jar. I'm still saying Jar Jar is Snoke. It's confirmed.
Like,
we'll find
seriously.
out.
Does anybody here like episode 1?
I thought it was okay. It
I
wasn't
like
the
Darth
worst.
Maul,
Yeah,
but
Darth
Well,
Maul's
he's
the only saving grace of that movie.
Yeah, that's
and Liam
true.
Neeson.
Let's try spinning.
Liam
That's a
Neeson,
good
yeah.
trick.
Liam
Are you
Liam
the
Neeson
angel?
is the other is the other saving grace of that movie.
And then
to use the Force, or I will look for you. I will find you, and I will kill you.
there's Attack of the Clones, the greatest prequel movie of all time. Oh, every time I watched the Anakin and Padme scenes, I can't tell you how many times I just like wished it would end faster. Like my brother has this one joke where he's just like, you could stack 2 chairs on top of each other and they still have more chemistry than Anakin and Padme do.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Even the pot racers have more chemistry than them too.
The Boba with the other pod racers.
Yes. Oh man.
Like all the scenes in 3 are just no. It's like a
Yeah.
cringy like high school relationship. It's like get out.
I liked it.
All hail
But
God.
I
George
actually
Lucas.
really enjoyed 3, though.
Oh no, I love 3.
Yep.
3 was the best of the prequels.
Also,
Definitely.
what I like the most are the scenes with Anakin where he's silent, because this guy is a good actor
Yes.
when he's silent. Yeah.
He's
Other
kind
than
of like
that-
Zuko. Only Zuko is likable.
Yes. Oh man.
There's a joke where it's like, why did Obi-Wan and Yoda hide Luke on Tatooine?
Right.
Because Anakin doesn't like sand.
That's really clever.
There's also another one where it's like, if you guys like prequel memes, there's a whole like Twitter feed and like Reddit page for this. There's one where there's a
Oh,
poem
yeah.
that goes, "Roses are red, cloaks are brown. It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground."
Oh my god.
That's one of my favorite ones. Then the last one is, "Hey Anakin, you want to hear a joke? Sure. The rank of Jedi Master. I don't get it. I know you don't."
Wow.
I like the jokes with Kenobi and
Oh, yeah.
General Grievous.
Hello there.
Hello there. A Grüteball.
Actually, wait. Oh wait. Len, are you able to wait here? I want to hear you say hello there, because if I remember correctly, I think Ewan McGregor is Scottish. I think.
So Ewan McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Hello there.
Ewan McGregor.
He's either Scottish or he's Irish. I think he's one of the two. I think he's Scottish.
Oh, he's Scottish. He's Scottish. Yeah.
He's Scottish, yeah. In the new Obi-Wan movie, if he's not Obi-Wan, I'm not watching it. if Ewan McGregor is not Obi-Wan, it's not Star Wars.
That's kind of how I feel about the Han Solo movie.
Yeah, I mean
Oh,
they can't
yeah.
like
Not,
they could
not
just
Harrison
beat
Ford.
the guy,
but-
young Harrison, but
I wish they would have got the actor who played young Indiana Jones in the Young Indiana Jones TV series.
about him, he's kind of dead.
Is he? I thought he was still.
I think he either committed suicide or something else happened, but he's dead. I think.
I had not heard of that.
I heard he was
Huh?
either dead or he got into legal issues. I forget what the issue was, but yeah,
That's
something
so weird.
happened.
He was such a good
Wait.
actor. I liked
Wait
him
here,
a
let me
lot.
look it up actually.
Are we talking
Because
about
I was
Shia LaBeouf?
watching the last
No.
episode
Shia
of
Uh,
No,
There was
Shia
a-
LaBeouf is in Finland.
Oh yeah,
There was
no,
a-
he's not there anymore actually, Nerman. Anyway, I don't know if you guys knew about this, but Shia LaBeouf, the guy who was in the Transformers
Transformers.
movies. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
it.
That's Indiana Jones.
He lived in a cabin and he lived in a he lived in a museum in Finland until he got kicked out and he's away back to his house now. Nobody knows why he went to a cabin in Finland in a museum. He just stayed there for no reason.
He was angry, I think, because of all the trolls who trolled him because of the Trump election or something.
Yeah. And
Oh yeah.
His movie only sold
That's why
2
he went
tickets.
Yeah,
my God.
it's a real thing.
If he wanted like a huge house, he could have been in the new Transformers movie.
That's true.
You know, made a
Could have
quick
been
look.
an Easter egg at least.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Alright, so River Phoenix, that's his name.
Oh wait a minute, he was an Easter egg, dude, in the new movie.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I bet
Except
it's
I
just
think it was
like in
just
the
a picture
billboard.
of him.
Yeah, the guy who played young Indy, River Phoenix, died October 31st, 1993.
Was he
shit.
young Indiana Jones in the TV show, or was that young Indiana
in
Jones?
the Last Crusade.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about the one from the TV series.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
What?
he would be
There's
old by
Indiana
now.
Jones
Anyway.
edition.
No, because that movie
Well-
came out in the 80s. Like,
Yeah, he would have been
late
way
80s.
too old now. But
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But didn't the Indiana Jones Chronicles come out in, like, what, the 90s? Was it?
no, I think it was early to mid 2000s. I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Double check. I don't know. You got Wikipedia up, right?
Please,
No, I was on Google. Because Google's the greatest place of all searches.
please look at this. Like, I'm gonna send you a tweet. It's so funny.
Oh, you sent a tweet?
Yes.
Okay, oh, I got a notification. Okay, here we go. Oh, dear. Twitter open faster. Faster, please, now.
Oh,
Alright,
Oh, let's talk.
this dog. His face.
Oh gosh.
Oh, is it in? Oh, it's in here. Okay, hold on 1 sec. Oh, there it is. Alright, I'm gonna click on the link. Alright, I'm oblivious.
Oh, it's the dog's face. The face when he makes like it. No, he's.
I saw that. That's so cute.
It's so funny. His face. He's like, oh, what's this?
Literally, Skylanders fans when they see his Fire remaster gimmick.
That's actually
Possible.
really accurate.
You know, I
Of course,
bet
it's not all Skylanders fans. I actually did a
Oh, yeah.
poll, and a lot of Skylanders fans, I was actually surprised by it, would prefer a HD Spyro remaster
you know,
over another
Over
Skylanders.
Skylanders.
Yeah.
never
and
had
at one
once
point,
a Skylanders remaster.
I saw somebody actually said that. Why don't they remaster
Fire Adventure.
Spyro's Adventure? I'm like, why? Why would they do that?
From the ground up in 8K.
Yeah, 8K.
What if they do that for the E3 dude instead of the original trilogy?
I would sue someone.
Alright,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Yo,
yo.
Before
Yeah.
before we end this podcast off on a good note, what would you guys want to see from Spyro? Like, what would you want to see from the Spyro remaster? Like, if it was gonna happen,
Alternative skins.
skins?
Yeah.
No time
Mhm.
trials, please.
Oh no, they won't do that.
Keep all of the glitches.
Oh yeah, the
Because
song-
I know that, like, if the speedrunners are gonna, like, because I know that it's the vast majority of the speedrunners in the Spyro community do not want a remaster because of the fact that the glitches will be gone. But even if they don't do it, that allows you for a brand new speedrun that you guys can learn.
But
So
what
that's
kind of
just-
glitches are there?
What was that?
What kind of glitches are in the first three? I don't know any.
So the first one, they're not like 2, where like 2 has like the double jump, and like there's plenty of out of bouncing in Spyro 1.
oh, yeah.
Like there's one if you play, I forget what level it is. If I believe it's in the one before, it's in the homeworld before, I think it's Dreamweavers.
Yeah, I believe
Peace.
so. I know.
Yeah, there's
He's
There's one where, like,
or-
they're like raising the levels. It's like it's not in the home world. I know that's Magic Crafters, but there's one in I believe it's in Beastmaker maybe,
Yeah. That's,
where
Okay.
there's a level where they're like raising the things. You have these gigantic like orange like creatures that these wizards are riding on and stuff like that. There's a mountain where if you get to the highest point and then you glide at this mountain, you can just go right through it. It looks super like complex, but it's super easy. You just fly at it and you go through it. Just like impress your friends.
Wow.
There's also the famous swim underwater glitch that everybody
Not in the
loves.
first one.
Yeah, true. Not in the first one, of course, but
Yeah.
in 2 and 3.
And fun fact is actually I don't know if you guys watch the 80% or the 120% speed runs of this game, it's more prevalent in those. So the end credits are unskippable, but
Mhm.
I forget who found this, but someone found a skip where you have to let Nash Nork hit you with his ray at the final phase, and then in that brief couple of frames of invincibility, you jump and you proxy off of him, and then you flame him as you're going down into the lava, and then when you hit the lava, you die. But since you already killed Nork, it's over, and you skip the cutscene, and it refreshes you back to the homeworld without the cutscenes.
Oh, that's nice.
Clever, actually. Oh my god.
It
Some of the things they
surprises me
find
that
there, like
the
I have
games have-
no idea how they do it. I mean, like other than they play on an emulator and do these 3 tasks, and I think they make tasks for these things. I know Spyro 2 has 1 and 3, but there's a lot of like really interesting categories for all these games. It's not just like get to the end. Like there's any percent, there's 120%, 100%, and then there's some like little like Easter egg ones. Like in Spyro 2, there's like jump on 10 different homeworld, like different like portals and stuff like that. Bone Dance, which is just playing through everything, starting in Glimmer, going all the way to Crush, beating him, and then going to Skella Badlands directly and just getting all the bones, and then getting the Bone Dance thing, and that's it.
surprises me to see glitches in these 3 games. I always thought Spyro was very glitchless, the first 3.
Well, actually,
For the most
Spyro
part,
2,
it is.
Well, there's plenty of glitches in the Spyro franchise, like, well,
Well, in Enter the Dragonfly, I know that, but first
like
3
Spy-
games.
Spyro 3.
Yeah, because like Spyro 2 was actually, believe it or not, is actually pretty rushed. That's why it's as
Favorite game
broken
of all-
as it is.
And
Huh.
still, the thing is that you like really, for the most part, have to go out of your way to find these glitches. Like, you know,
To
they're
some
not.
extent, yeah.
Yeah, they're not really like.
Insanity.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's like proxies you can do, like Beetle proxy, which I still am trying to figure out how to do. I'm getting the PS1 version, the PS1 discs of 1 and 2 finally, so I can learn how to do these proxies correctly. Because if you guys try speedrunning on a PS3, I'm just gonna say right now, don't do that. You'll be laughed at by the community. I tried, it
Why?
wasn't good. Because the emulation on a PS3 is absolutely atrocious, and Josh can vouch for me on this. Like the music slows down, the moves are delayed, and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, like actually I can confirm this. In Spyro 3, in the European version, I don't know if this is the case or not, but in the final boss of of Spyro 3,
Hmm.
the music that plays in the final boss is the first homeworld.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Was very strange. Like the greatest hits version, I think they fixed that, but if you had the original copy, like I did, you know.
There's a speedway where if you don't complete all the things in the speedway and then you leave, even if you were to go back to that speedway to finish the thing that you didn't finish,
It won't give you the egg.
yeah, there's a glitch, so then you
It's
can't
Country
get to the bonus
Speedway.
world.
It's Country Speedway. I
Yeah.
know, because I had that happen to me as a kid, and I was so frustrated that I didn't touch the game for a while.
Yeah, I showed it to the community. I said, "Hey, what do I do?" They're like, "Oh, that's
Understand
kind
it.
of it. It's kind of just broken."
Oh god, like Spyro 3, in my opinion, it feels more rushed than Spyro 2. Like I went back and played Spyro 3, to record footage for the review I'm doing with Nerman. The thing
Mhm.
is, I came across glitch after glitch in my recent playthrough. Like, for example, I actually fell through the floor as Spyro once because I don't know, I was just running, and
Mhm.
apparently, I think it was in the level Charmed Ridge.
Oh yeah.
On one of the
Oh,
walls,
yeah, that explains it.
on one of the walls, there's like a. Okay.
There's no collision.
Yeah, there's no collision at all. Like this cat witch had just pushed me away, and Spyro just fell through the wall. I was like, what?
Yeah, because like I was watching a
Yeah.
thing about accidental skips found, and Tuval, who's really big in the speedrunning community for Spyro, was just messing around trying to like figure out what to do. He just randomly jumps at the wall and it's like, whoa, all right, they just didn't put collision here, I guess.
Like, there's no physics in Charmed Ridge. Like, you've got no chance of beating that. With,
Yeah.
They put all
I
the
just think
development
that
time.
Cave in general just doesn't have any collision on it, to be honest.
They put all the development time into the physics of making the cat wizards move stuff. That was like their priority. They're like,
Yeah,
the world physics don't work, you know.
As far as Square-Eyed Jack goes with his review on this game, I definitely have to agree with him on the point of like when they didn't do the opening cutscenes and outros. That kind of bugged me too. It's like now you don't know what's going on. They're trying to keep that idea of there's this big story going on, but you're not giving a window of what's happening. That's why I think Spyro 2 is my favorite, is because even though Spyro 3 has a story that you can, stick with, and it hooks you, obviously.
Yeah.
But Spyro 2, it just, like, the entire time, there's a storyline going, and some of those storylines intertwine with one another, like Breeze Harbor and Zephyr after one another, Crystal Glaciers and Cielo Badlands having the same characters in just different costumes and all that. Like, stuff like that is really, really intriguing to me. I don't know about you guys, but like that was one of my favorite things about that.
Yeah, I like that too.
I also agree. Like, I will admit, Spyro 2 has the best characters, but Spyro 3 is a better story.
Yeah,
definitely.
Like,
Yeah,
definitely.
With the exception of Ripto, because Ripto was an amazing villain. He's my
absolutely.
absolute favorite.
Like, if you
Hunter, do something. Hey, give that back. Well,
I tried.
How about you try 22475?
That's my birthday.
That's the other thing too about Spyro 2. Why does Hunter have orbs when he knows we need orbs?
That's true. That is actually really true. It's the same with like the all inhabitants of like the island in Mario Sunshine.
Or with Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh yeah.
Or if you guys have played Toy Story 2, like the Toy Story 2 PS1 game, in one of the levels, Jesse and Bullseye are there. It's like, but you were just with Woody. Why can't you just tell me where he is and the game would be over? This doesn't need to be here.
Did anybody of you actually ever play the other Buzz Lightyear game on the PS1? The other platformer?
Which one? Was that Buzz Lightyear of Star Command?
Yes.
I
love
played
that
that one. That one was...
I love
not
I
my
kind of
favorite.
love it. It's like a Crash Bandicoot game, but you shoot and you're racing against the time.
Yeah, that was really weird. I did not like it.
It's by the same developers, which is even funnier.
Really? I did not.
My goodness.
Did anyone ever see this game called Warriors of Might and Magic?
Oh, best game ever. Best animation, best graphics.
The run animation is so funny. Oh my god! Like his run animation. I don't know how it is. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But it's like he's sprinting, but he's running at like a normal jogging speed.
But I think what's funnier about this game is the climbing animation. It doesn't make any sense. Animatically, it's so idiotic. Like, it doesn't make sense at all.
I love this game. I wish I could play this on my PSP. It
Oh
seems
god, this game has some of the worst controls ever.
Oh my. Well,
I don't know how they can go from good controls in the first game to this.
was this the second game? Oh well.
Who's
I
this
guess-
Jack guy in chat?
Oh, yuck. Oh god. Well, I guess with Spyro Remaster, anything else we want? Good animations. I want the same cutscene quality as the Insane trilogy. That would be good. That would be
Yes.
really
Yes.
good.
Clearly, we all want limitless flight because a platformapper
That'd be
needs
excellent.
that. I'm kidding.
Like,
Oh, why
my
not?
God, that would be great.
To anyone who says we need it, a platformer does not need it if it was not put in the original. Just saying.
Yeah, but I
And
mean,
like I've seen people say before, like, "Oh, he's a dragon. He should be able to fly." It's like, yes, but you could also say the comment of, "Well, he's a dragon. He's not a person. He shouldn't be able to talk."
Like,
So-
if it was an unlockable thing, like at the end
Oh, yeah,
of,
absolutely.
like a reward, you completed, all 3 games. Here, you can
Yeah.
have the option
Fly
to turn it
around.
on and off. That would be nice. Like,
and
I
now
wouldn't
the
mind that.
new like
Like
now
that.
that if they were to remaster in 4K, now it like gives you a reason to want to like look around at these new upgraded details they put on these levels.
oh, what
Yeah.
are we gonna call Spyro? Like, we have like 4K for Crash. We've got like Scale-O-Vision for Medieval. What are we gonna have for Spyro?
Upscaled.
Oh, that's
Most
great.
likely, yeah, that's good.
That's
10 out of
fantastic.
10. IGN would Spyro again.
Full new upscaled graphics. It's gonna be great, man. Oh god, that'd be great though. Like, I would actually. Like, that'd be very nice. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen the Crash Pizza Hut advertisement.
Yes, yeah.
Somebody replaced it with like Crash. Apparently, he has like the siren the other way around, and then when they tell him to turn it around, he goes like, he's like shouting profanities at them.
Eat the fucking pizza!
I need to show you that in a second, actually.
That's hilarious.
Oh lordy, it was something else. The Spyro, like the Eternal Night thing, that was actually quite good. The commercial, because they had like Crash and Spyro in one commercial once. I thought that was
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that.
like Eternal Night and Titans, if I'm not
The
mistaken.
weird thing though is that
Get
they
in my
showed
band,
the
please.
old Spyro. Like the costume was the Spyro from the classics. It's like, but why?
And Crash was the classic costume too.
Yeah,
really,
it's like
which-
it's like what were they thinking?
they had it laying around in the Sony studio somewhere, and they're like, we'll borrow it.
Yes.
Played him was like, yeah, sure, let's do that. During the live stream of PSX, like, Josh Pones and I were muted during the actual conference, but we were all talking together. Every single time we just like made jokes like, "Oh, Spyro," they're talking about Spyro, or like if they said something like one of them said, "You getting fired up?" We'd just be like, "Oh, Spyro reference? What?"
The Cooper gang has another job completed. Thank you for joining this podcast. Stuff like that. We get multiple technical difficulties. Apologies. But
Yeah.
it's been an honour to have Mekanizer8 and Josh Gaming on this episode of the podcast. You see,
Thank you so much for
having
having us.
It's been really
Thank
fun.
you.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely have to do it again sometime.
absolutely. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Oh yeah, by the
Yeah.
way, Mekanizer, just before we end the podcast, I just want to say I listened to Someday. It was a really good song, I have to admit, like right inside epic.
Thank you so much, man.
Really well written, man. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I have been your host, the Len256i.
Mhm.
What was it? Len256i Plush, and thank you for watching.
Man's here.
And we have our hosts, Johnny Cooper 64.
Man's here.
Nerman. We have
What? I'm a host now. What the hell?
no, oh, sorry, Oscar. I meant Oscar. So we have Johnny and Oscar.
You've been promoted.
I don't know. I'm getting quite tired. It's getting quite late where I stay, and we also have the guests, Josh and Mekanizer. So
Yo.
thank you for watching, people. I hope that you have a good Christmas, and I hope you want to have a Happy New Year as well. If you don't want to have
Yes.
a Happy New Year, then New Year.
Have a sad boy hour.
If you don't want to have a happy one, then just New Year. And it's like Merry Christmas, but it's not really a happy. Well, Christmas then. There you go. And
Goodbye. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.